Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Bold and the beautiful spoilers for February 16 to 20, 2026 imply that Eric Forrester, John McCook, gets the last laugh and Ivy Forrester, Ashley Brewer, is completely unhinged. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week, then we'll dive into what is coming next week. Let's get to it. On Wednesday, February 11th, it looks like Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, is going to keep showing Melissa Dillon, Sydney Bullock, a lot of empathy and kindness. He's going to get her a job at Il Giordano. It doesn't look like she's going to be a server because she's in a black apron instead of the green server aprons, but maybe working in the kitchen, something like that. Of course, Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, is going to find out this week that Dillon is still in Los Angeles. Deke, of course, realizes right away that Dillon's homeless. I'm sure he'll be able to convince his dad, Deacon Sharp, to hire Dillon. But I wonder if they're going to offer her one of the apartments upstairs or if there may not be one available. That may be where Deke is staying since he broke up with Remy Price, Christian Weissman, and that was his roommate. So we'll find out soon. Will's going to be up at Il Giordano very soon, confronting Dillon out by the dumpster. Deke is there too. Will is demanding to know why Dillon lied about having a new job and that she told them she was leaving Los Angeles. She's going to be very upset about this confrontation. It looks like she may break down and tell Will that Ivy blackmailed her and forced her to lie and say that she was leaving. Dillon's bottom line is she doesn't want to cause any problems for him and Electra Forrester. Will's going to bring Dillon back to his house. We've got a big four-person showdown coming by the end of the week. It could really affect Will and Electra's future. Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, and Carter Walton's wedding takes place on the Forrester Creation showroom on Wednesday. They're going to be up on the runway saying their vows, and Zende Forrester Dominguez, Delon Demetz, is officiating. Now, this is a fast-track wedding because initially this was supposed to just be an engagement party that Steffi Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, was throwing. But then they've decided they don't want to wait, so a quickie wedding. We're going to have Donna Logan there with Eric. Brooke Logan is there with Ridge Forrester, and Steffi and John Finn Finnegan are there, so it's a relatively small crowd. Zende officiates and takes Daphne and Carter through it. It's nice for Carter because he's always been the officiant, and now he finally gets to be the groom that makes it all the way to man and wife. They are officially hitched. On Thursday, February 12th, Donna may find herself feeling a little guilty at the wedding. Ridge keeps trash-talking Logan, and she knows he's doing it in front of Eric, who's the designer. Ridge was just doing it again with Carter this week. He cannot keep his mouth shut about this. He really wants Katie to fail, but then also says that he doesn't want her to fail. But we all know he wants her to fail. If Ridge is dissing Katie's fashion house while her new lead designer Eric is sitting right next to him, I think that's going to be pretty soapy. I'm sure that's going to have Eric just wanting to double down on showing up Ridge at the fashion show. By the end of Thursday, we've got Carter and Daphne officially declared husband and wife. Then it's on to a little wedding reception and later right to baby making. Daphne, of course, is hoping that she might already be pregnant. That's why she wasn't having any champagne at her impromptu bachelorette party. I am hoping to see good news for them on that front very soon. We know that Carter is very intent on being a dad. On Friday, February 13th, Electra, Will, and Dillon are all over at Will's place. Ivy's there, and she thinks she's about to drop this big bombshell about Will doing naughty and inappropriate things behind Electra's back, but her read on the whole thing is just wrong. Ivy tells Electra she didn't want her to find out what Will and Dillon have been doing behind her back, but then Ivy says it's time she heard the truth. Electra's like, what truth? Of course, she's going to believe everything out of her aunt's mouth. Ivy's going to tell her this tiny dancer tale of Dillon being on Will's lap and that they were about to kiss. I'm sure it's going to be about how she spent all evening with him and was showing off her body, all this nonsense. I hope Will speaks up and says that he asked Dillon to dance for him, because if anybody overstepped, it's Will. I agree that him asking Dillon to put on her toe shoes and dance around was inappropriate, but nothing inappropriate happened as a result. Electra is going to hit Will with an ultimatum. It may be that he can't see or talk to Dillon ever again, or they're done, something like that. If Will was planning to let Dillon move back in, I'm sure Electra will pitch a fit about that.
I'm guessing she's 100% going to believe Ivy over Will. We know from 2026 B&B spoilers that they are having issues soon. I think Ivy and Elektra's less than charitable behavior towards Dylan isn't going to sit very well with Will. Plus, Carter and Daphne are husband and wife, and they're getting frisky. It's time to celebrate being married, and hopefully that baby making is successful. The week of February 16th through the 20th is the last full week of February sweeps. The following week we only have 3 episodes, and then it's done on February 25th. Right now, Ridge has pressured Taylor Hayes into agreeing to stop seeing Deacon, but obviously Taylor and Deacon are not going to stay apart on Bold and the Beautiful. Deacon was just telling Deke that he didn't think he was going to get to see Taylor anymore, but I'm sure Deacon will see Taylor again soon. All of her Resolute will crumble, and I think Deacon is going to have Taylor back in his arms soon. However, Deacon and Taylor may agree to keep everything hidden from everyone, especially given the Steffi ultimatum, until they see how things work out with him trying to split from his wife. Sheila Carter notices Deacon's increasing absences. There's the lack of intimacy, which is unusual because they've always been very frisky with each other. Sheila's going to get more and more suspicious. I expect snooping to commence soon and for her to be following Deacon around. Dylan is getting help from Deke, which is nice to see. R.J. Forrester, Brian Nicoletti, is likely to see Dylan up at Il Giordano. I think he may ask her out soon, which may bother Will. Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, continues gleefully plotting Ridge's public humiliation. Katie and Eric are loving their work at Logan and should announce the fashion show date soon. Will was daydreaming about Dylan dancing this week. You guys saw that. But it's hard to tell if Will is just showing concern about her or if he's got some sort of low-key crush. The flashbacks look to me like a low-key crush, but Brad Bell's writing is so inconsistent and contradictory that it's hard to tell exactly what's happening there. Elektra and Will may continue to have words over Dylan. Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, is going to have a hard time sitting on the secret and not telling Hope Logan that Eric is Katie's lead designer. Brooke is going to find out soon that Taylor and Deacon are hot for each other. Elektra gets a reply from Will on her ultimatum. Daphne and Carter settle into married life. Hope and Deke may chat about Deacon having to give up Taylor, and they want to know why. They may press Deacon to go get his girl, but at the very least to kick Sheila out of his life. We'll see what happens.